All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at BotBots Series 6, Anti Farmwell from the Pet Mob. Anti Farmwell here obviously turns into a little ant farm here in a aquarium, I guess you'd call it. I don't know, whatever you put ant farms in a box, in a display case, whatever you'd say. And it's got some nice painted detail on there showing the little ants going along their little paths there. I think that's a really nice little detail. This is a repaint of a previous series BotBot from Series 3. This is a repaint of Clossum from the Arcade Renegades, who turned into a little claw machine here. And, you know, as being a nice looking box with stuff inside it represented on the front here, I think it works pretty well. Now, Clossum had to that kind of thing where it's like, okay, on this side you could see like all the details of what's in the claw machine, but on this side you could actually see the little joystick and the claw, which is a little weird that, you know, you can't see the, you know, I'm not really sure which way is supposed to be the front. Whereas Anti Farmwell is like, okay, this is clearly the front. And then if you look at it on the back, it's like, yep, still has a claw and a joystick, which is a little weird, but it's really more so you're supposed to be looking at it from this side. So that's the one thing about this one that makes it feel like, okay, yeah, clearly this used to be something else, is like, I don't know, you know, like if they made this from the ground up, I think they could have made it exactly the same, but just made the arms something different so that they just like actually filled the space rather than having the little claw and the little, you know, joystick there. But, you know, I think it still works pretty well as an ant farm from this side. Obviously, transformation is just the same as Clossum here. You just take the legs, kind of flip them out from underneath, take the arms and rotate them out to the front. And then this hand does rotate, and it's got like the little joystick on the thumb there. So you could keep it out like that, or you could, you know, make it so the thumb is like facing forward, whichever. And then, you know, you take the little lid here and just pull it up. And there we have Anti Farmwell in her robot mode. I'll transform Clossum real quick here to show them off together. Now, it's kind of weird here because actually Anti Farmwell was a character in the BotBots show, but was green like Clossum. So it's like clearly like, okay, was going to be this mold, but it felt like they actually used this version of it to represent that character in the show rather than this one who looks really nothing at all like she did in the show, having like weird little vampire teeth here. Like it's a nice expression. I don't mind the character of it, but it definitely does not look like the character from the show, to the point where like this one looks more like the character from the show and it doesn't turn into an ant farm. So that's a little strange. But yeah, and likewise, you know, obviously the little joystick hand and the claw hand make a lot less sense here, but otherwise it's a nice little robot, not too crazy. But you know, again, like I do like the line work there for the expression on the face, but I do wish that there was a little bit more character to it. But, you know, I feel like a lot of the character from this BotBot really just comes out from having the ant farm there on the front. And it works pretty well as that object, unlike a lot of the other BotBots in specifically like the Pet Mob and the Custodial Crew, where there are just like repaints of old BotBots that really just don't work as the objects they're supposed to be. This one I feel like does work. I feel like this makes sense. The only thing about this mold that really doesn't make sense is the little joystick and the claw, which, you know, it's not that big a deal. So yeah, obviously articulation is just the same as Clossum. The shoulders here are on ball joints, so you can rotate both arms around, and then this hand specifically also is on a bit of a swivel there, and that's pretty much all you're getting. But you know, that's enough to get a little bit of character there. I'd say robot mode, it's kind of teetering between a 2 and a 3. I gave Clossum a 3, which I feel like is maybe in hindsight a little bit unfair to Clossum, because I definitely like this one less, but then giving this one a 2 feels a little bit unfair to this one. So I think I'm still going to give her a 3, even though I think it is a bit of a downgrade from the robot mode of Clossum. And then with alt mode, I think I'm still going to give it a 4, just like Clossum, because, you know, it has a little bit less going on, but I do think that the anthill detail is nice. And while, you know, having the joystick and the claw doesn't make as much sense for the anthill, at least as a clear front, whereas Clossum's mode I always felt was a little bit weird because I wasn't really sure which was supposed to be the front of it, because, you know, it kind of works both ways. And then transformation is just the same, obviously, so 3 out of 5. So that is going to give pretty much the exact same score as Clossum. I'd say I do like him a little bit better, but not enough in any individual category to bump it up by a point in any regard. So still ends up being a what is that, a 10 out of 15, which makes her a 3-star BotBot. So yeah, not one of the worst ones out of the new 8 packs in Series 6. I'd say this is one of the better ones, especially one of the better repaints, definitely. But yeah, I think really the saving grace of this BotBot is just that nice sort of like anthill detail. I think that's a really nice bit of paint work there. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to her. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Make sure to check me out on Instagram at toys.n.art. And without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 6 Anti Farmwell.